Jay is a lot. He's watched way more tape than I have, so I'm gonna let him go at it, and I'll point out things that I notice.
All right, yeah, perfect. Hold up, didn't mean to do that.
Oh, that's a sight. I love that.
All right, so the play that we're on right here is So look, we were just talking about zones, right? So I want to show you guys like exactly what we were talking about. So this is just like, this may not look like anything big right here. Make sure this is big. Okay, so look, basically the look that they're giving right here, and this is how you can tell obviously that it's zone, right? Nobody's over, either of these receivers, so it looks like people are just going to be drifting back, right? And that's exactly what we're going to see here. So I want to run the play real quick. So I want you to watch up here. Look at Dan Arnold. Why is this up here like that? Like it's just in the way. I want to bring it back actually.
I think you gotta keep your mouse off the screen.
Let me see. Is that true?
For the October 25th, the scores. Yeah, you gotta keep your mouse.
There you go. All right, got it. All right. So look, Dan Arnold's up here. He runs around. Look, he finds all this in the middle of the field. Like, are you telling me that George Kittle can't run that same sort of route over the middle? Like, watch this again. I just want you to watch everybody dip this way and leave the entire middle of the field open. If that's what's happening, like that's going to be all day pitch and catch. Like that's going to be way too easy. Like I didn't really understand what the philosophy was in this game for them as far as what they were trying to do. But Andrew, like everything was zoned pretty much this entire game that they ran.
Yeah, and it really hurt them, and they seem to it's weird because it was like a hybrid of a man in a zone, because there's one play that we saw. It was also to Arnold in the middle of the field. The play where both top safeties decide Andy Isabella was the guy they're keying on, and they just let Arnold run middle of the field.
Yeah, we'll get to that one too. It seemed like the Seahawks didn't really have their assignments down on who they were supposed to be looking for. Like even this touchdown right here is so fluky, right? I didn't learn anything from this, but I want to show it to you because it's so weird. Like anybody who got to watch this game, look at Kyler Murray, and it looks like he's not even looking, right? And then all of a sudden, what? The ball just gets hiked, and it's like a fake out. It's almost like when you quick pitch somebody, and they just throw it up to DeAndre Hopkins on Quentin Dunbar, and he's stuck because look at this one more time from this side. Check this out. Look at him look this way. Look at Kyler not even looking. And then the ball just comes in, and everybody's like, what the heck? Like, nobody was even looking, and there it is. Like, that touchdown tells me nothing about the defensive scheme. That was just some sneaky stuff that Arizona did, honestly, right?
And I'm not going to say Shanahan's going to do something like that, but Shanahan's going to pull something out of his hat in this game, kind of like he did against the Saints last year with the Emmanuel Sanders throwing the ball for the touchdown. Like I feel like this is going to be the game where we're going to see Shanahan kind of reach into his bag of tricks.
Right. Let me find that Dan Arnold one that you were just talking about as well, too, because that one was like really like egregious. Is this it? Yeah.
I think it was this one. And so you'll see it later in the play. We'll replay it.
Yeah.
Both the safeties decide to go to Andy Isabella, and they just leave a soft spot in the middle of the field, about 20 yards down the field.
That's it, Andy Isabella right there. So Andrew's dead on. So basically what's going to happen is Isabella's going to run just a straight 9. Like he's just going to try, but he bends the route in the middle to force both safeties to go with him. Dan Arnold's down here.
Arnold's right there, yes.
Yeah, so now you just watch everybody just fall back and like nobody take anybody. So we're waiting for the snap. Come on, hurry up. Look. No one's guarding him. Look at them all up here. Look at what this is like. That, like, what are you doing? Like, what is this defense here? Like, what exactly? I want to watch what Bobby Wagner and KJ Wright do here. They're just watching the backfield, and now they're turning and running. They're both guarding like the same blades of grass right there. Like, I'm not certain. This is what I'm talking about when I talk about their defense. Like, I don't know what the heck they're doing and how, with the way that the 49ers throw their passes, how they intend to stop this right here. Check this out. One more time. Look at these two right here. They're down here. Look, and all he does is bend around that way, and there's no one there. Like, I just don't understand what Seattle was doing on this play.
There's a lot of the Seahawks give up a lot of space.
Right.
And I really feel, unless they drastically change the way they run their defense this week, which I don't think they're going to, because I mean, listen, I guess the best way to put it is 49er fans saw how the Niners handled Cam Newton. Cam Newton threw for 98 yards against the 49ers, and whether it be, he's not 100%, whatever it may be, that same Cam Newton threw for 350 yards against the Seahawks defense.
Yeah. And he hadn't thrown for more than 175 in any other game this year, I think, or something like that.
So the Seahawks, listen, like, the Seahawks get a little bit of the Ravens treatment because we're so used to the Ravens having very, very good defenses that we see Raven jerseys, we're like, oh, their defense is good. Same thing with Seattle. We remember the Legion of Boom, that defense, that all-time great defense, wearing these jerseys. And so we tend to sit back and say, hey, Seattle's a good defensive team. They're not in the passing game this year.
No, they aren't. They really aren't, man. And I want to find one more. I want to find this play. The one that you pointed out to me. So
this is Kyler run?
Yeah, this is the Kyler run. So this is I mean, look, this is how it seems to me that when I was watching this, that Seattle's just leaving the middle of the field open. If they intend to do that against the 49ers, Godspeed to them. They're about to get 50-pieced all in their face if they don't do anything in the middle of the field here. But I want to show you something. Andrew brought this up to me, right? So this is obviously a naked backfield. It's just Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray checks because there's so much in the middle of the field. He literally checks the play to just a straight up design run.
And if you rewind to where they show the scoreboard at the start, this is 38 seconds left.
Yeah.
All Arizona needs to do is get in field goal range to force a field goal, because you can barely see with the neon green. It's 34-31. This is Arizona just needs to get in field goal range. And the best angle you're going to see on this play is from behind the quarterback. Right. You can see it here, how open the middle of the field is. And Kyler has to check out of this play to change it to what he does. And if you run it, he recognizes how open the middle of the field is, and he just boom. And obviously Garoppolo's not going to do this, right? No. We're more looking at, look how wide open the middle of the field is here. Look at this angle. Look at this. There is
you just check right there.
Between the two linebackers, there's probably 20 yards of space. And if Fitzgerald holds his block a little bit longer, like Kyler could take that at least 10 more yards.
For sure.
Seattle's defense just has a lot of leaks that I know, like if Jason and I are recognizing these holes, you know damn sure Kyle Shanahan sees these.
Kyle Shanahan's sitting there rubbing his hands like Birdman looking at this right now. Check this out. This is it again. Look at so this is, you're trying to stop them from getting in the field goal range, and all you're doing is running a soft zone with no pass rush. I have to ask, like, what are you thinking? You're not
if you rewind here too, I pointed this out last night. 13, who's 13? I forget exactly who it is.
Christian Kirk.
At what point is he covered on this play?
And never. I mean, they were fine letting him run underneath the linebacker here. Like, we'll slow it up here and let it run a little bit more. But, like, they're fine with letting Christian Kirk, and this is trying to get into field goal range. Look, the middle linebacker is allowing him to cross his face right here, and he's good with that. And they're running two crossing routes to give him outlets. This is all covered up here. But at what point, look at all this over here. Like, look, who's he running after? Who are you running after, dude? There's no one there. What are you doing?
And Archinoy makes a good point. The whole field is there by using 5 receivers, stretching the field. The Niners aren't going to use 5 receivers, but Shanahan will, essentially simulate 5 receivers, right? Shanahan is good at stretching the field with what they have by going wide, by finding those gaps. The Niners, the way they stretch the field is those end arounds, right? Those end arounds to Ayuk, those end arounds, we're not going to see it to Debo this week because of the injury.
Right.
They stretch the field by saying, hey, we're going to run wide. We're going to run around everything. They're going to start stretching naturally because of that. And that's when the middle of the field is going to open up. So no, you're not going to see 5 receivers from the 49ers, because I don't even think they have 5 receivers at this point.
No.
You're going to see them stretch the field by expanding the field on run plays and the end arounds.
Yep. All right. So, I mean, pretty much on defense, what we noticed is in this entire game is that they just ran a soft zone with no sort of pass rush. They're rushing 3, they're rushing 4. They've got nobody that can get home, right? Like, if this is their game plan next week, it's not even going to be pretty, but we should look at some offense. So this is the Russell dime. But what I want to show you about this is this is a perfect coverage call by Arizona. I had to ask somebody who was much more knowledgeable than me on defense, did I miss something? Did Budda Baker just give up on the play? Did he lose the ball? Well, that person let me know that, basically he lost the ball here. They call a perfect coverage on Tyler Lockett. So they get him in motion. You can tell that this is man. They switch it off. Patrick Peterson's going to come grab him. Now, look, they're both on him. Now, look, watch Budda Baker here at the end. What happened? What happened, dude? What happened? He just stopped. He stopped chasing. If he continues to chase and trail right from where he is, so it's these two right here with Tyler Lockett coming across. Look, Budda Baker looks like he's got it, right? Like he just called the right call, and look at him break off. Look, What happened? You lost the ball, dude. And if he's there, that ball gets knocked down. But that's the problem, is that Russ throws such a beautiful ball that if you leave it one-on-one, there's not many guys that can match up with Tyler Lockett or DK Metcalf going down the field when that ball is as pretty as that.
If you put any quarterback on the Seattle Seahawks that's not named, let's say Russell Wilson, Lamar Jackson, Aaron Rodgers, any of the top tier guys, this isn't a 5-1 team.
No.
This is not a 5-1 team. Russell Wilson makes up for a lot, including the defense. I mean, you look at all the scores the Seahawks have had. I'm finding it right now. 38-25, 35-30, 38-31, 31-23, 27-26, 37-34. These are shootouts that Russell Wilson is keeping them in the game for. So we're not trying to say that look how bad the Seahawks defense is. This is going to be a blowout. We're saying this is the things that Kyle Shanahan's going to notice to make the Niners offense better. The only way this game's going to be a blowout is if the Niners can contain Russell Wilson. And that is a very, very big if.
Right. So, and I want to show that because this is for the people who are asking, like, okay, so how do we defend it, right? So towards the end of this game, right, and I don't want to pile on Vance Joseph, right, because Vance Joseph is an NFL coach. I'm just some guy, right? Vance Joseph is, let's say, mediocre at his job, right? Defensive coordinator. But what I have to give him respect for at the end of this game is he dialed up the blitz in many ways, and also his rushers were disciplined. And right here is the perfect rep and how it's exactly done. Right here, you're gonna see off of the edge is gonna come the blitz. But what happens is these guys aren't just all gas no brakes running past Russell Wilson, allowing him to step up. And even when he does roll out, they still have contain on him. This is pretty much how you want to do it right here. And you have to force him to his right. Look, here it comes. They don't rush deep enough. Now he's out. But look, there's contain there, and you force him into a stupid throw. That's really what you have to do. You have to force him off his spot, and you have to force him to not throw where he's stepping into it, stepping away from it like this, like how he's running away from the pressure. They don't rush deep enough, right? Now he can't step up, and he has to move out, and then he has to float this up. He had 2 or 3 bad throws like this, like all with pressure in his face. And Vance Joseph did a great job at the end of the game doing that.
And the Niners edge rushers, I mean, especially when they're at their peak. So we're talking Bosa, D Ford when healthy, Eric Armstead. They're guys that like to get around the ends and try and close the pocket towards the line of scrimmage. You can't do that with Russell Wilson.
Right.
You have to push the line of scrimmage towards him because Russell Wilson, if there's something he is the best at in the league, is stepping up in the pocket.
Yep.
You cannot allow him to do that, and that's what the Cardinals did. And, I mean, even to a point where I remember in overtime, I forget exactly what sack it was, they had a free run at him. I mean, they did such a good job forcing that line of scrimmage to come towards Wilson that the Seahawks line tried their best. I just noticed this. The Cardinals use the 5th quarter. They don't do overtime.
Yeah, they don't do overtime. That's why I looked at it too, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm too tired." It says 5 quarters. It's overtime. Yeah. So this is the interception in overtime, right? Isaiah Simmons gets his first interception. Again, look, everyone's up on the line. The line is trying to call out the calls. Look, they even bring a corner blitz. See, this is how you confuse them right here, okay? So let's bring it back, and I want to run it, a little bit slower. So what they do is they rush a certain amount, and they drop back enough where it confused Russell Wilson, man. Like, the whole line is trying to point out they think the house is coming, right? But the cornerback up here, and I suspect that if K1's playing, that this is going to be his role on certain plays because they use him the same exact way to come in here and get Wilson. So, look, he's already moving towards the line because he knows the snap is coming. Look, he thinks that he has it beat. Isaiah Simmons does a great job of getting over there as fast as he can, and the ball's up, but he's not even looking. Like, who was that to? Because the throw was off schedule, the pressure was in his face, and Russell Wilson thought that he actually was going to lead his guy into looking, but he threw it to an area that basically, Tyler Lockett's not even looking, and that's what you have to do. Constant pressure, bring it, mix it up this same exact way, and look at what happens. Look at, like Andrew said, imagine that Russell Wilson makes bad throws too, right?
And the way you do it is pressure. And I mean, if you go down, and if we can't find it quick enough, the sack I was talking about is actually, I think, 2 plays before this. If you scroll down, and if we can't find it quick enough, it's no big deal. And just to see how much they changed up the, maybe it wasn't on this drive. It was in overtime. There was a sack. Yeah, maybe it was that one. Let me see.
There's a corner blitz, Byron Murphy. Again.
Yeah, and this is what I'm talking about, switching up where the pressure's coming from.
Right. And again.
Because watch how free of a run he has here.
Right. Well, there's no one there on that side. Now, here's the thing is that you bring everybody to the line like that, and you got to suspect. So you got to suspect that this is what the 49ers are going to try to do in this game, right? And I mean, not as much because that's not their style, but they keep showing everyone and then dropping people back. Once they started doing this towards the end of the game is when you saw Russell Wilson flummoxed a little bit, man.
Pause it right there.
Yeah.
There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players looking like they're blitzing. 4 of those guys are dropping back.
Right.
The one who gets the blitz is a corner. You have to confuse the Seahawks line like this.
Right.
Look how many guys drop back here.
Yeah, Simmons is going to drop back. 49 is going to drop back. Baker tries to get in there, but DJ Dallas is right there. But Greg Olsen's trying to come chip him. By that time, it's already Byron Murphy's got a free shot, and that's it. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can step up into. There's nowhere to throw the ball and get rid of it. So, I mean, so much of what Vance Joseph did at the end of this game is going to be lifted by Robert Saleh. He's got to find ways, and I think we can cap it there. He's got to find ways to create pressure, man. Like it's really just going to be that more than anything, and continuing to get Russell Wilson out of his comfort zone in that pocket. Don't let him sit there and unleash that deep ball. Don't let those routes develop down the field. Like a lot of what Vance Joseph did at the end of the game's got to be lifted by Robert Saleh. Great job.